And, you know, he should.
Los Angeles, this is Los Angeles.
Because you can't just sit there and put your knee on somebody's carotid artery and not know they're going to die. They're going to die. And so, okay, you didn't know that. Manslaughter. But to, in general, say that the police are doing this, the police are acting like this, that is just ignorant. And it's not about a defense of the police. It's about the mainstream media and the corporate culture trying to get us all to fight with each other at this critical point with 150 days out from the election, while Trump undoubtedly is trying to heal racial wounds and unify America and empower the average American. The Democrats don't want people off the plantation, whether they be white, black, Hispanic, old, young, male, female, gay, straight. So you know what I actually want to air right now? Let's air a few minutes of the last minutes of George Floyd's life that has touched so many people's hearts and really should. Let's humanize this man who, okay, somebody thought he was passing fake 20s. Is that a death sentence handed out on the side of the road? No. And I'm glad people have some humanity when they see somebody pinned down, begging for their life, dying, and somebody callously, ignorantly killing him. Because I guarantee you that cop didn't know he was killing him. That dumbass doesn't know about anatomy. You got the guy's head turned to the side, your knees right on his carotid artery, Bubba. You think that cop wanted what's about to happen to him? No. He's a dumbass like so many other people. They're dumb cops, they're good cops. They're dumb doctors, there's good doctors. There's bad, evil people, and there's good people. But that's not somebody being evil, that's somebody being a bully dumbass. And you can see he's enjoying it, sitting there like he's in charge. And really all he's doing is burning his whole life up, along with George Floyd's. So let's play a little bit of that, and then I'll tell you all the stuff that's coming up. Bill Gates' vaccines got shut down, making people sick and killing the monkeys that they tried it on. But he's got other vaccines that have passed animal trials right to humans. So that's all coming up. There's so much. Trump's announced a big executive order. We got a draft of it. I can't believe nobody's covering the draft. They're going after him, you know. This is some good news, because it's not about censorship. It's about bullying and dominating and election meddling and riding herd on the American people. And the globalists have nothing to lose. And so Trump's acquiescence is green-lit incredibly criminal activity. So Trump can go after him on the censorship front, but that's not the one. It's the espionage front. That's where you can really skin the Google cat and the rest of them. But let's go to the man, George Floyd, begging for his life with an idiot who doesn't know that when you put your full weight down on the side of somebody's neck that you kill him. Here's how to be an idiot right here.
My neck hurts. Everything hurts. There's some water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe all the time.
Shut up.
They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me, man.
Bro, with your feet on his neck, man, you get out the
His nose is bleeding. Like,
yeah,
come on now.
that's wrong right there with feet on his neck.
Look at his nose.
You see your knee on his neck. Yeah, he got your feet right on his neck. Yeah, even resisting the rest.
I cannot breathe.
You just a grown, you're a tough guy. You're a tough guy, huh? I say you're a tough guy. You're not even resisting the rest, bro.
His whole nose is bleeding.
Fight with him? Bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro.
Check for a pulse.
Bro, are you serious? You gonna just let him sit there with that on his neck,
Let me see a pulse.
Is he breathing right now? Check his pulse.
How long have this conversation?
Check his pulse. Okay. Check his pulse, Tal. Tal, check his pulse. Tal, check his pulse, bro.
Look at this dude.
Bro, check his pulse, bro. You bogus, bro.
Don't do
You
drugs,
bogus.
guys.
Don't do drugs, bro. What is that? What do you think that is? You call what he doing okay?
Get back
You
on the
call what he doing okay? Get off of his neck.
Still on him, bro.
Yes, look at
Get
that,
back on the
bro.
street.
Are you serious?
Nobody's
Bro, are you serious? And you gonna keep your thing on your neck? Man, bro.
The fact that you guys aren't checking his pulse and doing compressions if he needs that, you guys are on another level.
Oh my God, bro.
Okay.
They just dragging him like, come on now.
Congressman Jim Jordan says he hopes to soon see the transcripts of Michael Flynn's phone calls with former Russian diplomat Sergei Kislyak, the Russian ambassador to the United States. Those transcripts were declassified by the outgoing Director of National Intelligence, Richard Grenell. It's now up to the new Intel chief, John Ratcliffe, to release those documents. What will happen? Well, let's get the best view on that possible. Congressman Jim Jordan joining us tonight. Congressman Jordan is a ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, also a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, great to have you with us. Let's start with the House vote tonight on this bill. This is quite a spectacle. The president not threatening to veto it, but calling on House Republicans not to support it. But he didn't make a position known when you originally voted on the bill. Give us some insight here.
Well, here's what's happened, and good to be with you, Lou. Here's what happened in the last 2 months. So back when this first passed in March, since that time, think about what we've learned. We've learned 39 people unmasked Michael Flynn's name. We learned how they set up Michael Flynn. We've got these transcripts that Mr. Grenell got released that show that when the whole Trump-Russia investigation started, there was no basis for doing the investigation, something you and I thought all along, knew all along, but now it's proof. Clapper knew, Brennan knew there was nothing there, Comey knew there was nothing there. So all that has transpired since then, and more importantly, we have the memorandum from Inspector General Horowitz, who is looking broadly at the FISA now. First, he looked at what they did to Carter Page in the Trump campaign. Now he's looking broadly at the FISA, and he put out a memorandum back in March, on March 30th, which said the 29 cases he's looked at, every single one had major problems. 4 of them, Lou, didn't even have what's called the Woods file, which is the file you have where you keep the main evidence, that the supporting evidence documentation for what you then take to the FISA court. So 29 American citizens who were spied on, every single one of those had major problems. So that's all transpired since that first vote. And the president simply saying, look, until we get this all figured out, we ain't reauthorizing anything. We're not doing it. So God bless the president. This is a good product we got working, but it can get better, and that's what the president wants to see happen.
I will second your God bless for this president because of what he has endured, all that he's done for the country, and then have to ask the Republicans to stop more of the madness. I also don't quite understand the madness from the Justice Department, and perhaps you can give us some insight into that. Talking about given the cumulative negative effect of the legislative changes on the department's ability, to spy, they want the president to veto it for an entirely different reason.
For a different
reason.
What
in the hell is going on at the Justice Department, Congressman?
Well, look at what the president tweeted out, though, just a few hours ago. He said there should be no warrantless searches on American citizens, and amen to that as well. So this president understands it.
Amen.
He's lived through it. Mr. Horowitz has given us the evidence and done the investigations that show just how bad it is. So, like the president said, let's get to the bottom of all this before we reauthorize the program that was abused by Jim Comey's FBI and the intelligence community in the Obama administration. Hey, Lou, think about this. 6 people in the Treasury Department were unmasking Michael Flynn's name. In the Treasury Department, 6 different people. Holy cow, what was going on in those last several weeks of the Obama administration? We're now beginning to understand how determined they were to go after this president, how determined they were to cover up their scheme that they had back in their administration. And Jim Comey was the guy who was going to protect them because he was going into the next administration. And then when he gets fired, Bob Mueller's going to protect him. But finally, we are getting the answers, getting to the details, getting to the facts.
The path through the great corridors, these are corridors unto his perfection, that is, which the prophet and the Urim and Thummim has penetrated, that through this great sea of blackness that I penetrated through these corridors, and I went through that last segment where I went through these dark serpentines. I passed through that corridor where they sit, where they are. And when you penetrate to the Most High God, you will believe you're mad. You will believe you've gone insane. But I tell you, if you follow the secret window and you die to the ego nature, you will penetrate this darkness. Oh yes, there's many a man or woman that's been put in the sane asylum and this has happened to them. And they're sitting there today. People think they're insane, but they saw something that's real. And they see it when they're on drugs. The only thing is they see it not through the light of God. And the way I showed you, I showed you to see it through the light of God and the understanding of God. Because when you see the face of God, you will die. And there will be nothing left in you except the God-man, the God-woman, the heavenly man, the heavenly woman, the heavenly child. There'll be prayer on your lips day and night. There'll be a song of jubilee waiting for your king. There will be nothing you will look
What is it, Captain? Whatever it is, it's incredibly advanced. Let's take a closer look.
All a dream in death.
Is it
And so
surfing
I
the
went through
internet?
that with you.
No, it's calling mission control.
And checking my email?
And I went through
Captain,
that
now
when I
it's
showed
opening
you
up a map of our current location. While showing a slideshow of my vacation photos, I've never seen anything like this. And now it's playing a movie.
It seems to have some sort of a touchscreen interface.
Is it an iPod, Captain?
No, it's something much, much more. And it's going to change everything.
Get together, I'll take your picture with... Ah! You're kidding me! This thing plays music, too?
No safety. All the honeymoon. Living off the energy of others and those that stood up for basic human freedoms and that trailblazed some of the good things we have in this world. All that's over. The reserve tank is empty. But that's actually good news, because all those that have doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on the lies are now going to have to sleep in the beds they made. I wanted to get Mark Passio back on because I really like the work he does, and my wife's a fan as well. I already knew who he was before she became a fan, but she watches, listens all the time, and so I get a chance to watch him even more. WhatOnEarthIsHappening.com, and you know, I'm gonna have him on sometime just about his journey of awakening through the occult and the coming out of that. But it's, all these schools are painted and controlled the rose-colored darkly of the priesthood classes that are trying to get us to be under their control and not having our connection to God and, you know, to that almighty power. You've got NASA coming out admitting there's a whole nother dimension they found. Look, they've always known this. There's a lot of dimensions. They're trying to suppress that knowledge because a nation of blind sheep can be led easily to slaughter. But I wanted to get him on just in general today about the big picture of this time, because the end means a beginning as well, and just crazy things going on, who he thinks the factions are, where he thinks all this is going, what's going to happen next, because it's getting so crazy as the psychotics, like the nursing home thing I've been obsessing on, knowingly sending COVID patients there, knowing that would cause mass death, the only group that it kills in large numbers, and then turning around and being saviors after they've done it, and threatening to arrest all the nursing home owners when they order them to do it. I mean, it's a form of black magic, really it is, where why is Bill Gates' wife, Melinda Gates, and it's an upside down cross. And the Church of Satan, though, got fact checked it with Snopes, said, well, when you wear an upside down cross, doesn't mean you're officially with this Church of Satan. So they play that game like if you're not affiliated with Anton LaVey's group, why they say they don't have no record of them, so it's not satanic. It's an open flaunting and a lesser magic. What is this really all about? And then all of their different bills and sponsored codes and patents are 666. What's in that? Mark Passio joins us the rest of the hour. Thanks for joining us. WhatOnEarthIsHappening.com. I've thrown a lot out there. Tackle it, whatever you want to take first.
Well, Alex, I fully agree. I mean, we are really being ruled by Satanists. We are being ruled by dark occultists. That's what is really taking place. These people have had control of our planet since time immemorial. They've probably had control of our planet since human beings have existed here on this planet. This is a time of opportunity for people to make that recognition and to get their ego out of the way so that they can understand what religion they have actually been inculcated into. See, what we have planetarily, we have a whole lot of de facto Satanists. So de facto it means indeed, by their deeds. Okay, so if you actually look at the tenets of Satanism, you will see that it is all about egotism. It is about placing the self first and foremost, even if you have to hurt others in the process. Okay, so out of control ego. How many people in our society embrace that type of a characteristic in their personality? I would say it's a good amount. And then that's reflected back to us in the form of the people that we say are in control. You know, look at these governors. I mean, they're de facto Satanists if there ever were any. You know, I mean, these people are,
and they can't even hide that. What's that crazed look these Satanists get, where they're just like, they're like in ecstasy? It's so ridiculous.
They're getting off on power, a perceived power over other people. You know, but see, what we have to realize is that this is all a reflection in consciousness of what is really taking place in the majority of human beings. Because you can look at—
I totally agree. Us becoming satanic allows them to flourish, and they're just kind of the lowest herd. But don't they know how sick they look to someone that has discernment? I mean, they're pathetic. They don't have real power just because they're screwing people over.
See, they can only control people that are really at their level of consciousness or below their level of consciousness. And that's the problem. So then if you actually really ask yourself, where is the consciousness of the people of Earth, it will make us really, as people who are—
Exactly. They're just a gauge of how low we've sunk.
We will realize, if we understand that, what our work is to do. And it's a tremendous body of work that has to be put forward to get people to really set down their false versions of reality, the stories that they tell themselves. You know, it's all ego that's in the way. The ego is really the force. See, people who like look at ego from this new agey perspective or this religious perspective don't really understand. It's just the force inside our minds that refuses to allow us to say the simple phrase, "I was wrong." How many people can't utter that phrase, can't acknowledge that they were wrong about something, that they were duped about something, that they didn't see things clearly in the past? It's usually—
So you're saying the beginning is becoming humble, which means really just not being on a power trip.
That's right. It is humbling yourself to the truth. Because if we don't do that, the only thing that's really going to shake this planet awake is pain. You know, that's the way of maximum pain is what I call it, is when we have chosen the path of ignorance, which is the refusal of truth, the refusal of acknowledging that we don't have the right to command anybody. These people don't have the right to command anybody. This is all an illusory form of power, you know? And because we have refused that, in that ignorance, we have gone into a level of consciousness that allows us to be controlled by this satanic cabal, this worldwide network of dark occultists.
We've been given over to a grand delusion. How deep is it going to get? I mean, when do we hit rock bottom?
Well, we're going to hit rock bottom when there is absolutely no freedom in the world and they start really truly merging consciousness with machines. I mean, that's where this is going, into an AI hell, you know. But the thing is, we can level the playing field very easily. The problem is people have to let go of their false and illusory ideas of what good and evil really are, because we have a false version of what is good. We've been told a false version of what freedom is. We've been told a false version of what goodness really is. We don't really truly know what good behavior is as a species. And we've also been told a false version of what evil is, what bad behaviors are. See, the occultists have done a great job. People have to understand, occult doesn't mean worship of supernatural gods and performing crazy rituals in a dense forest. This is a Hollywoodized variant of the occult. You have to take it from me. I was involved with these people. I was involved in the dark occult for many years of my life earlier on when I was younger. The occult is simply an ancient form of deep psychology. These people understand every aspect of how the human mind works, all of our motivations.
They understand the archetypes, they understand the epigenetics, they know how to program people.
Without a doubt, that's what they are. They are ancient, powerful psychologists who have done their homework about the human mind and fully know how to control the mind. They are mind controllers.
And they've decided to make everybody dumber to control them, which is the first level of being collapsed. I mean, they claim they're so ascendant, but the fact that they try to dumb people down and take free will shows they're the opposite.
And those are the real pandemics, Alex. Fear and ignorance. Fear and ignorance always makes people easier to control. And these controllers, these occultists know this.